What's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here with GuitarJamz.com, teaching a classic, you know, obviously. So let's just get right into it. It's kind of bordering on easy and intermediate. All right, so let me go through the chords of the verse. We're going to start with a G major chord. And basically, actually, this is good to mention right now because this is also how I learn songs by ear, is I you know, kind of follow the bass line, the lowest note, and I can associate the chords of the key but building off of these tones. So check this out though. It's interesting because here are the bass notes of the verse. It's like it just goes down the G major scale. Right? So then I put chords together just from, you know, I mean, I have music training, but I put chords together off of those bass notes. So the first one's G. The next one we're going to play a D, but with our thumb over that second fret of the E string. So it's like. Then an E minor. But you could play an E minor with those notes from G still in there. That or that. Or just a regular E minor. So now a regular D with the D in the bass, because we're following down the bass line, down the scale. So we got G, D over F sharp, E minor, D, C, which could also still have those two notes. Actually, any of the chords, as you saw, could stay with those two notes there, you know. But I tend to go, you know. And there's usually kind of a little bass line, goes back up to D for a second. Right? So now there's the pre-chorus. We're going to do an A minor chord. We got that, right? And it's kind of an interesting thing. It's definitely a B note in the bass. And so what you can do is say, and I just add that, and then I also add my pinky to the third fret of the B. But really, you know, the easiest thing would be to just have your middle finger on that B note and keep your index finger where it was. Yeah, I'd say that's the easiest thing, yeah. So you got. Then that comes back over and you do a C chord. Back down. Back to the original. So let me play it just the way I would play it musically. So you know, I emphasize the bass notes. So from the build-up, on that last one, instead of going back down, it's that's what I want you to, that's what I want you to know. It's a D. Want you to. Okay, now the chorus. Now really there's not much different there. It's basically a G chord again, but that note is the bass note instead of G, which if you looked at the bass line just on the E string, so look at that. That's interesting. The verse is descending a scale, and the chorus is actually doing the opposite. I think that's interesting. And the build-up is on a minor chord as opposed to major. So a little tonal, you know, characteristic change. But anyway, C, D, 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 G, G over B. Then it's just a C. You can play a regular C, or I'm playing a C add 9. And so it's like, you know, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 3rd fret. So you got G over B. And when I do this over B, I'm letting the tip of my finger mute the top string, so you don't even hear it. I don't know if you can see that. Which is awesome, you know, really cool little part there. So it keeps it does a, you know, G over B, C add 9, D, D, G over B, C, D, D, G over B, C, C sharp, sharp, and it's a C sharp diminished chord. I'm going to teach it to you right now, but if it's too hard, it passes by pretty quick. If you can just get a 4th fret on the A string before we get to this chord, and I have an alternate easy chord for that too, but you need that. Okay, so on that last one, G over B, C, C sharp, D. And so if you have your middle finger on that C sharp note, then you need to do this. It's a good chord to know. It does happen from time to time. So we got middle finger, 4th fret of the A, ring finger on the 5th fret of the D, index finger on the 3rd fret of the G, and pinky on the 5th fret of the B. C sharp diminished. And then from there, and notice my middle finger on that C, on the C sharp diminished, it's still my middle finger. So I'm kind of tracking the chords with my middle finger. Then the next one's my middle finger too, and it's called a D 7 sharp 9. And so it's 5, 4, 5, 6 fretwise, and it's also known as the D Hendrix chord. Now, if it's too hard, you can play a D7 chord, but it's not going to sound as good as that, because he's singing that note. Yeah. So from the build-up. You know, all the na-na-nas is back on that verse. I've been a victim of a selfish kind of love. It's time that I realize. Would it be, should it be, should it be, So, you know, what I'm doing on that Hendrix chord there is I'm doing a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a... But, and it's a big but, I'm just relaxing to make the chords ring out with what I remember hearing, you know, in the words. That's a little bit trickier, but just know, you know, do yourself and make the change. Gotta get it right while you got the time on a bonus sound. Another thing that happens is it modulates. It goes up a half step, and if you're just trying to play and sing it, that's a pretty tricky thing to actually teach. It would be like a whole, you know, you're going up a half step. So with this particular key, it would be kind of a tricky thing. I did do it in the little intro, but. Alright, that was it. Hope you had a great time with me. I've got a free ebook and a bunch of other cool stuff. You can check it out down in the link down there. See you in another lesson real soon.